Hello and welcome to another MegArts video tutorial. My name is Britta Swiderski, and this week I'll be showing you one more way to team up October Afternoon with MegArts products to create a really awesome project. So we'll be doing this all week on the blog from August 1st to August 5th. So we're going to make a canvas today. I have this one from Hobby Lobby, I believe. It's 9 by 12 and you can get these for a few dollars really. And you can also get them on sale too. And we're going to start out, we're going to make a three-dimensional kind of page, I guess you could say, featuring a baby picture of my cat Trixie. So it's going to be cute because she's a girl. We can work in a whole bunch of flowers and use a lot of the awesome 3D elements with October Afternoon's 5 and Dime collection, along with some lace from MegArts and maybe some silk ribbon as well. So let's get started. I'm going to paint my canvas a really easy way and just open a paint dauber. This one is Soap Powder from Jenny Boland Studios, produced by Ranger. And I'm just going to tap a whole bunch of paint on here. Trust me, you'll use most of it, and if you have any excess you can always just pick it up with your paintbrush. And I'm going to get my paintbrush pretty wet here and then spread the paint around. And I'm using a back and forth motion here and trying to distribute the paint as evenly as possible across the canvas. And once I have the most of the canvas covered, I'll go to the edges. And you want to remember to do the edges on a canvas project like this because people won't see it from just straight on, they'll see it from the sides as well. And that's also one of the things that's really cool about this project, using ribbon and chipboard shapes and things like that, is people see it from all sides, so they'll be able to see the dimension and all the texture from multiple sides. So I'm just going to go around the edges and make sure that all of this is covered in this really pretty blue color. So I'm going to leave this to let it dry for about 15 to 20 minutes, just until it is dried at the touch. Since we only put on one layer of paint, it should dry relatively quickly, but it's definitely something you want to let air dry. If you take your heat gun to it, you have the danger of it bubbling up and warping. So it's worth your patience in this time, I promise. So I'll be back in just a second, ready to start building up our three-dimensional project. Alright, so I'm back with my canvas. It's dry, and depending on how humid it is where you are, it might take a little bit longer because the humidity is so high where I live right now. It took about 45 minutes, so I actually sat it in front of our air conditioner, or you could sit it in front of a fan to let it air dry quicker then. But now that it's dry, I'm ready to start adding my pieces on. And first I want to start out by adding my bottom layer. So I want this little card from the October Afternoon Miscellany to go on the bottom. And before I add it, I'm going to add some Distress ink. And now I'm going to go ahead, and before I adhere it down, I want to see how it's going to look with my picture on here. So I want it about here. And then I can go ahead and adhere it down. And instead of using my ATG like I usually would, I think I'm going to use some extra strong adhesive today and go with some score tape. And this is just really, really sticky tape that you can use. It'll stick to pretty much anything, and what I really love is that it rips. So you can, it's really strong adhesive, but you can also just tear it off the roll without having to get out your scissors and worry about, you know, finding the end again and stuff like that. So I'm going to peel off this tape, and it'll be really great for hanging on the wall because this adhesive will really, really hold. And I don't want to have things falling off. Next, I'm going to go ahead and add my picture. First, of course, I'm going to ink the edges just slightly. And I've put this on some dimensional adhesive so that it pops off from the page a little bit. And now that I have my two first pieces down, I think it's time to add my ribbon. So I'm going to actually use two ribbons just stacked on top of each other. This is the Mayarts 1 1/4 inch silk ribbon in cream, so SK09. And I'm going to put it right about here. And once I have it where I want it to go, I'm going to flip it over. And then once again I can use my score tape to adhere it. And then this adhesive is so strong you can just go ahead and trim it right next to the adhesive. And then it still looks clean on the back. Not that you're going to see the back anyways, but it's still a nice ending and it's pretty flush with the canvas. So this is a good base to then put our lace ribbon over the top of. So once again, I'm going to wrap my ribbon around and then use some score tape to adhere it over the top of the silk ribbon that I've already adhered in place. This lace ribbon is NP09, by the way, and I really love the texture it's adding here. So I'm going to go ahead and add even more texture with these chipboard pieces. I have this one, and I'm going to add a couple pieces of dimensional adhesive underneath a couple of these leaves since it's going to be adhered at the same level as the picture. And this will just help hold it up and hold it in place at the same time. Now I can add this other piece in the corner. And even though this adhesive is pretty sticky, I just want to make sure by adding some of my really strong score tape on the back. And I just used a little piece because the other adhesive will hold it on there, but that just is extra secure. Alright, so now that I have my chipboard pieces adhered, I'm going to go ahead and balance it out by adding some buttons up in this corner. And I'm going to use this cute chipboard one with a little cat on it that actually looks a lot like my cat. I'm going to use this pink one and then this red one here. And I think it's really cool because I used some 1/4 inch silk ribbon on this. You could also use the 1/8 inch silk ribbon. But Mayarts ribbon goes through buttons really, really well. So it's a really good addition to your buttons, especially if they're bigger buttons. The ribbon will definitely hold its own against the button versus a little bit of floss may not look exactly in proportion. So I have this button and I'm just going to arrange them on here. I'm also going to add this strip also from the miscellany pack, and I'm going to slide it under here and put it where I want it, and then actually I'm going to curve it around to the back, and this will add some nice dimension from the side as well. And you can just keep going all the way around the frame and then stick it down. I'm also going to add this Good Memories tab to the top of my picture here. And these just fold around really easily. I want to make sure I have the date on here because this is all the way back in December of 2010. So I'm going to write the date on here, and I think this would be a perfect place for it right here. So I'm actually going to add 2 layers of dimensionals underneath it because that chipboard is definitely thick enough to constitute 1 layer of dimensional, and it's already up on 2 or on 1. So we want to make sure that the label sticker is also held up at the same level. And I'm going to add this special day or special 2-day sticker or chipboard right here. And I'm really liking how this is coming along. I think I need a title though, so I think I want it to be Baby Trixie, I think. Not sure yet, but I need to figure out what I want to put the title on. And I think I'm going to use these Mini Market stickers, also from October Afternoon, and they match the collection perfectly because it's definitely the same red and their wonderful cream background. And I'm going to put Baby Trixie right here. And my trick for lining up these smaller stickers is I put them on the ruler first, and that way I can move them around and make sure the spacing is correct before I press them down. So I'm going to get them on my ruler, and I'll be back in just a second. So I have my stickers lined up here on my ruler, and you can see they're perfectly straight on here and perfectly spaced, which is awesome. And since it's a plastic ruler, you can wiggle them around as you see fit. And I've cut out this piece of paper from my 8x8 pad from the same Five and Dime collection, and I think I want to put the Baby Trixie over on this side and then have it tucked underneath either this piece or underneath the picture. So I'm going to first put down the baby, and then I'll put down Trixie. And you see I have them lined up here, and I can just get right over it here, line them up, and then when I think it looks like everything's in place, I can go ahead and press all the tops of the letter stickers down into place, and then just lift off the ruler from underneath it. And if one comes off with the ruler, that's fine. You can place it individually, but this just helps you get most of them in the right place on the first try without having to do very much adjusting. And now I can just wiggle it under here, get it where I want it, and then adhere a piece of score tape behind it. And then this will hold it in place perfectly. Now with all of my elements added onto my canvas, I'm giving it one more look over to see if there's anything else I want to add. This space down here seems a little bit blank, but that's okay because on a wall you want to make sure that it's not too busy, not too overpowering, and this bottom space gives the rest of the composition a place to rest on, and your eye a place to rest on. So I think this balances it out pretty well. So here's a picture of the finished project, and here's a close-up of all that awesome dimension. I think October Afternoon and May Arts work really well together to bring this vintagey, cute layout together and make a really awesome wall hanging. So I hope you enjoyed this video tutorial. For a full list of supplies and more instructions, you can go to the May Arts blog at mayarts.com/blog or to my blog at brittaswiderski.com. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you again next time on another May Arts video.